Hi, my name is Chine and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new, hello, hi, welcome. We have lots of fun here. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for tuning in. The Sephora Savings Event starts on the 31st, which is Friday, and pretty much everything is up to 20% off. Something that is so crazy is how people go crazy for the Sephora sale. Guys, unless you are Rouge, you are getting like 10%. Most times, the brands themselves host better deals. But I digress. There are so many vanilla perfumes on the market. You are constantly being bombarded by vanilla after Bianco Latte, after Escapade Gourmand, after vanilla release. So I'm going to help you sift through everything and tell you the perfumes that I would buy if I was shopping for a vanilla perfume during the Sephora Savings Event. Starting off very strong with Vanilla Woods by the 7 Virtues. This is the perfect vanilla for people that think vanilla perfumes are boring, they all smell like vanilla cupcakes, and they want a little bit of a kick in their vanilla fragrance. 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods is the fragrance that I would recommend to you. As far as Sephora perfumes go, Vanilla Woods is a powerhouse. This fragrance is caramel, it's vanilla, and it's a very rich, warm, grounding amber. When you put this fragrance on, it gives a very luxurious, confident, and like powerful feeling. If I had to compare Vanilla Woods to anything, I would say that it's a much more grown-up and sophisticated Cheirosa 40. A lot of people also compare Vanilla Woods to Silky Woods by Goldfield and Banks, and I 100% see the similarities. I would say that Vanilla Woods is softer and a more youthful approach. It doesn't smell juvenile, it doesn't smell childish, while Silky Woods has the addition of the cinnamon note and the suede note that makes the fragrance much more bold and also makes it lean a little bit more masculine. Sticking to the theme of very powerful, commanding vanilla fragrances, we have Kayali's Vanilla Royale. I know that everybody loves Kayali Vanilla 28. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of that fragrance. I think it's okay, like I get why people like it, but I also feel that unless you are getting a very macerated bottle, you might be setting yourself up for disappointment, because a fresh bottle of Kayali Vanilla 28 to me smells very floral as opposed to a very rich, darker juice that you start to get a lot more of like the brown sugar and like the vanilla facets. All in all, the vanilla used in Vanilla 28 is a very rich like vanilla orchid kind of vanilla. It's a good vanilla fragrance, but the floral aspects might throw some people off and they might be disappointed that it doesn't smell like lick your skin of vanilla. Anyway, back to Vanilla Royale. This is called Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. And before you jump me, I know you don't like patchouli. Listen. The key to smelling bold, confident, and sexy is a little bit of patchouli. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules, but from my experience, that is the key. And I feel like the patchouli in this fragrance is a good one to dip your toes into the world of patchouli. It is a very sugared patchouli. It's also a tiny bit like sweetened from the boozy note. So the patchouli is there, and it's very like warm and grounding in the base. It doesn't smell like that patchouli, if you know what I mean. Vanilla Royale smells like vanilla dressed in a little black dress, seated at the bar and waiting for their date. That is the vibe of this fragrance. It's giving like femme fatale in the best way. If you want a fragrance that is perfect for date night, perfect for leaving a strong impression, and isn't like super mass. If you want a fragrance that is perfect for date night, perfect for leaving a strong impression, a fragrance that's going to last you through a night out, Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli is the fragrance for you. This fragrance perfectly balances dark, sexy vibes with a gourmand vibe. It has some very gourmand notes like tonka bean, creme brulee, vanilla, sugar, but it's also contrasted against a little bit of spice, a little bit of the rum note, a little bit of the patchouli. This fragrance is severely underrated. I do not understand why Kayali's Vanilla Royale does not get enough hype. The dry down of this fragrance is truly intoxicating. The brown sugar, the creme brulee, contrasted against the tiny bit of oud is chef's kiss. I don't know. Just trust me. If we have the same taste in perfumes, trust me and get your nose on Kayali's Vanilla Royale. Switching gears and going into the terrain of decadent lick your skin of vanilla perfumes, we have Queen's Caramel by Ellis Brooklyn. Ellis Brooklyn has been in the lab, okay, and it's very clear that they are being very intentional about the fragrances they release. They gave us Miami Nectar, Chef's Kiss. I love that fragrance. It is one of my favorite pina colada fragrances in general, and one of my favorite fruity fragrances at Sephora. And then they gave us Guava Granita, very fun, very different. And this fall, they are giving us Queen's Caramel. Queen's Caramel is for the real gourmand girlies, okay? If you have ever smelled Bianco Latte and thought it was too sweet, this is not the fragrance for you. I mean, listen to the notes: caramel, maple syrup, honey, white chocolate, vanilla. This fragrance is a treat. When you have this fragrance on, somebody is going to want to take a bite out of you. No kidding. I don't know if you've ever had that Cadbury eclair candy, but that is exactly what Queen's Caramel smells like. It's giving like sticky caramel, toffee, and vanilla vibes. It is so decadent and so rich. Queen's Caramel is honestly a caramel toffee lover's dream if you like the idea, the concept of Bianco Latte, but you felt like it was too sharp. It didn't really deliver on like the creamy, sticky caramel. Maybe you didn't like the spices, like the coumarin and the other spices in Bianco Latte. You like the fragrance at its base, but there's just something in the background that doesn't work for you. I think Queen's Caramel is going to perfectly scratch that itch. Queen's Caramel, I know I always say that I am tired of the Bianco Latte inspired fragrances. Bianco Latte has done a lot of damage to the gourmand community. I will admit that. This is a good rendition. This is a Bianco Latte, but make it better. This addresses a gap in the community because there's so many people that like the idea of Bianco Latte, but they don't really like the execution. There's something in there that doesn't work for them. And this fragrance actually lasts a surprisingly long amount of time. Like I put this on this tester strip maybe like 6 hours ago and I can still smell it very clearly. So the dry down is also really good. This right here is the most underrated vanilla perfume at Sephora. I said it. Dave by Henry Rose is, I don't even have the words. Like I smell that perfume and my eyes literally roll to the back of my head. I do not understand why this fragrance isn't getting the hype that it deserves. Like it is severely underrated. It is such a gem. It is such a treat. This fragrance perfectly balances like sweet and like edgy. Maybe edgy isn't the word, like sweet and polished, like sweet and chic. Yeah, that is Dave. This fragrance is vanilla encapsulated by this beautiful cacao note. I know cacao chocolate can be very tricky for a lot of people. I promise you, it is executed perfectly here. You are in for a treat. At its core, Dave is a warm, spicy gourmand vanilla. The vanilla in here is rich enough that you still get the sweetness. Of course, it's a cacao note, so it's still like in the sweet realm, but it's also grounded by this warmth and amber in the base. When you look at the notes for Dave, I don't think that 100% translates to how the fragrance feels and wears. In the top notes of this fragrance, you have neroli, pink pepper, orange. In the mid notes, you have almond blossom, lavender, orange. And then in the base notes, you have vanilla bean, chantilly cream, tonka bean, cacao dusting. Neroli is a tricky note for me. Almond blossom is a tricky note for me, but the way they are done in this fragrance, they marry really well with the tonka, they marry really well with the cacao, the chantilly cream, so they complement the fragrance and give it that warmth and a little tiny bit of powderiness without overwhelming the fragrance. You know that almond blossom can be a very overpowering note. Like it just goes in there and it takes over everything. That is not the way the almond blossom is done in this fragrance. Dave is perfectly unisex. It is such a chic, almost like hotel lobby kind of vanilla. It is rich, it is luxurious, it is expensive, it is sophisticated, and it's effortlessly cool. Ladies can wear this, guys can wear this. When I imagine a man that smells like Dave, I think of a man in a crisp suit. In a crisp suit, and he's not afraid to smell like vanilla. He's very put together, he's well taken care of, he's shaven, he looks and he smells like vanilla and cocoa butter. That is Dave. Out of all the fragrances I'm going to talk about today, if there's any fragrance that you absolutely should try, get your nose on. I don't care if you get a full-size bottle, just get your nose on the fragrance. It will be Henry Rose Dave. Like, I'm a big fan. Sticking to the theme of like effortless, put together, is Vanilla Skin by Fleur. When I think about Vanilla Skin, I think about you take your favorite cozy vanilla fragrance and you spray it all over your favorite white tea, and after 4 hours somebody comes up to you and says you smell like you naturally smell like vanilla. It is not a loud fragrance. It's not going to announce your arrival. It's not going to fill up a room. It's not going to last you your entire workday, but it just smells like you ooze vanilla essence. At the notes of this fragrance, you're going to see sugar, pink pepper, red apple, vanilla, jasmine, lily, oud, cashmere, so many different things. But all you need to know is that this fragrance smells like a slightly sweet vanilla and musk. That is what this fragrance is at its core. I don't get a lot of the floral components in the vanilla. Like I don't get the jasmine, I don't get the lily, and I definitely do not get the oud. There might be oud in it, but you know what I mean. Like nobody's going to smell this fragrance and be like, yeah, I can smell oud. Like no. So don't be scared of that. If that is the reason you are scared of Vanilla Skin by Fleur, there is no reason to be scared. I wouldn't even call this a baby oud. I would call this a non-existent oud. The sugar in here really complements the rich like vanilla extract kind of vanilla. So the vanilla on its own isn't super sweet, but then adding the sugar sweetens it up a little bit. The cashmere notes combined with the sandalwood is what gives the fragrance almost like that musky, your skin but better kind of vibe. Cashmere is one of my favorite notes when you're looking for something cozy and effortless. Like cashmere just comes off very put together, very effortless, like I'm not even trying. So yeah, if you're looking for the perfect musky vanilla fragrance, I think Vanilla Skin by Fleur is a fantastic option. And finally, we have Nest Madagascar Vanilla. Contrary to popular opinion, a vanilla extract vanilla is not a very sweet vanilla. Vanilla extract on its own isn't all that sweet, and that is exactly what Madagascar Vanilla smells like. This fragrance has this feminine, creamy elegance to it. It's not a loud fragrance, it's not going to fill up a room, but it's just like that richness of vanilla. I don't want to say a whisper of vanilla, but that calmness, that subtlety that vanilla extract gives, that is exactly what Madagascar Vanilla smells like. This is vanilla orchid, and a coconut note. You guys know that I struggle with coconuts. Like, it's a note that goes very bad for me very often. The coconut in here is actually quite pleasant. I can tell that there's coconut in here, but it's not like that sunscreeny solar coconut. It's more of like a creamy, like coconut butter kind of coconut. So it complements the floralness and also the richness from the vanilla really well. I feel like this is a fragrance that will layer really, really well with a lot of different fragrances. They also have a fragrance oil for this fragrance. If you hear vanilla extract and you're expecting a decadent lick your skin of vanilla, you are going to be disappointed with this fragrance. It is nothing like that. It literally smells like vanilla extract in the best way. The best vanilla extract vanilla perfume that is sold at Sephora. Okay, I didn't think I was going to mention this one because it's only available as a body mist, and you guys know how I feel about body mist, but I think it is worth mentioning. I think that if you're someone that likes the idea of by the fireplace, you want a woody, rich mahogany kind of vanilla, but you felt like the fireplace was way too burnt, way too smoky, way too masculine for your taste, I think this is a great one. Vanilla Smoke takes those things that you love about by the fireplace, but makes it a lot more wearable and a tiny bit more feminine. This fragrance has a lot of notes that I enjoy. It has birch, it has pink pepper, it has tonka, it has Peru balsam. Peru balsam is actually a very interesting note. I think it's a great way to add like a little bit of like a sexy muskiness to your perfume. I feel like cashmere and musk go the cozy clean route, while Peru balsam goes like the sexier, darker route. The pink pepper in this fragrance is rich, it's bold, it does what it's supposed to do. You have the tiniest amount of cacao, a very, very rich vanilla. The combination of the birch and the incense gives off like a smoky wood, a burning wood, but without overwhelming the entire composition of the fragrance. Vanilla Smoke is a solid release. I feel like this one flew under the radar, maybe because one, it's a body mist, and two, Fleur has been releasing perfumes like every 3 to 5 business days. It's kind of difficult to keep up, and this is definitely a fragrance that is more for the girlies that prefer to smell darker and more mysterious, as opposed to like the gourmand girlies. So maybe that is why people don't talk about this one enough. But if we have the same taste in perfumes, you like to smell dark, mysterious, a little bit edgy, I think that this is a good one. Someone asked me the other day for some options for a femme fatale work fragrance. I think that this would be a good one because you get the darkness and the intrigue without the fragrance being very heavy, very dense, very like diffusive, and like your whole office being like, you know? So Vanilla Smoke, she's a win in my book. Anyhow, those are my vanilla perfume recommendations for you for the Sephora sale. Let me know in the comments what is in your cart. What are you buying? Are you even buying perfume? Happy shopping. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.